Okay. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this now. Not sure what's going on there. So just looking to see if there is anybody actually online anymore. What's going on here? So look and see. Scene one, take two. Oh, I do apologize. It's so annoying when things like that happen, isn't it? Just trying to see if I can actually get it up on my let's go to view channel. Hopefully we are going to be back on live now. Yes, scene one, take two, indeed. Cheryl, I am back. Deco Painter and T. Yes, hello again. Okay, so what we're going to do now then, hopefully if you can see me, is we've got this lovely big pointed wash brush, which is great. Indeed, take two. And what I'm going to do is we're going to take some of the Payne's Grey and just use it straight for this scene because it's just such a lovely scene. Oh, hello, Joanna Gray. How are you? You've made it for the take two bit. So we're going to go for the Payne's Grey, even though the colours that are present in this are really very like a lamp black, you know. But the Payne's Grey is, well, it's my favourite, probably my favourite colour ever. So what we're just going to do is get in just some sort of little bits of detail there. The thing that's lovely for me about the brush is that, or the scratchiness of the pen, is that it is going to give me that kind of Quentin Blakey sort of feel, which is really what I was wanting to go for. And just gonna, this is going right across, and it's the same tone, so we're wanting to keep this a real night scene, and I'm just going to use the direction of the brush to communicate lines. So I'd imagine, Joanna, it's, what time is it with you? Probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. So for those of you who don't know, this is the Joanna does watercolor. So we're going to be doing a live towards the end of the month together on Instagram, which will be pretty cool. So hopefully what you can see, I'm going to see if we can get flick. What you can see here is that this is the thing that I really love. Hello, Sam from Canada. Is that the minute that you put just some watercolor, simple watercolor onto 420, it's later than I thought. When you put simple watercolor onto the mix of or onto the ink, then all of a sudden it just looks like a definite illustration. Now, what I could do, I think, is probably drop in some more of the pigment in certain areas, so that now I'm getting more effet with the whole wet on wet. And I hate to admit it, Toby would be saying I told you so, but whenever you drop it in, then obviously it's going to stay within the channels. But actually some of this is, so it's nice and warm in here, getting to the point where I need to probably take my coat off. If you drop it in, then it's going to follow along the tracks and bleed through, which is nice. And also, I've chosen that bumpier side of this page. Someone pointed out to me recently that the maybe all watercolor pages have like different grains or textures on different sides, but I hadn't realized that about the See What I've Brightened. So you can see it beginning to separate out, and particularly because it is Daniel Smith, and Mr. Daniel Smith likes to separate out like none other. So what I'm going to do is do the thing of bringing in a different colour close to the other. I don't really want them to bleed. Somewhere is the way that I would normally work. So UJB123 says 5:22 here on the East Coast, and it is 10:23 in the evening in Northern Ireland, in the UK. Because we're not that exciting. We don't have different time zones in the UK, but how cool would it be to have that? So anyway, what was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Yes, I'm going to add in a little bit of blue for the sky. So let's go and hunt and find this blue. So it's quite a grey blue. So I'm going to actually grab a bit of that phthalo blue, and then I'm going to add in loads of the Payne's Grey. Now I tend to mix from the colours that I have because I don't want to waste. So let's drop in a little bit of that, just like that. Going all Tommy Cooper on me. Yeah, just a little bit of a flick from the brush. This brush holds a ridiculous amount of ink, or not ink, watercolor, which is quite amazing. This was a wee bit more expensive than I would normally pay. Hello, Sue. Did you see what I had? This is the Sue that recommended the glass pen, which I was using, Sue. So thank you for that suggestion. It finally arrived 3 months later from China. Okay, so then we're going to grab a little bit. We're going into this sort of an orangey tone now. And I'm wanting to keep this really quite simple. I'm going to add a little bit of that. I think it's a Pearl Scarlet. But what I love about these scenes is, because everything else is really quite muted in tones, the minute then that you drop in, just, I'm being risky here, I'm just going to drop in the placing it. Now, I will lift those ever so slightly because there's an awful lot of watercolor there on that. Oh, and that one's bled. That's okay. We'll not cry about that. Okay. So my taking all of that, really less is more. So let me just, oh, that's okay that that's mixed there. Just want to lift that, the grab and drab. That's actually quite nice, the way they've mixed together there. I'm okay with that. Okay, so that's hoovered up. Dab and grab, that's it. I couldn't remember the name of it. So that's where that works really, really well. Just to hoover up just a little bit of the excess water. And you know, for me, there's probably not a lot more that I really want to do to it. Now, what I will do is I'm gonna hopefully let this, now there is a lot of water on this page, so I can hoover up different amounts to try and get this to dry that bit quicker. So are you all enjoying your Sunday? You had a nice day? Just hoover up those little bits. And I mean, actually, do you know what I will do? I'll add in some of this. It's like a lemon sherbet. Yellow here, just a little bit lighter. Love that with Indian ink. It dries just so quick, you know, so quickly, and it means really that you can just then do the waterwork on top of that, which is just so lovely. It's wonderful. Okay, so well, there you are, folks. So Sue says she's been on the allotment and the sunshine sounds wonderful. USS Galactica. All right, so far, going to watch the Oscars in an hour and a half. So that's pretty cool. I was watching some of the Brits last night. That was pretty exciting. Now, what I'll do then is, let me get actually the thinner brush. This type of brush being thinner. I've just squeezed off excess water again to do the dab and grab. Now you can see that it's sort of agitating the pigment ever so slightly. Probably a little bit more than I want it to, but we can pick that up later. And then you've got that sort of settling of the pigments in, as I've gone on about a few times here with this. Now what I could do is plug in the hairdryer, but what I might do actually is, while that's drying, is maybe attempt to sketch this with my magic pencil. Do you know what else it would be nice to try with? Is the well, it was going to say the Indian Inktense pencil, but actually, you know, with this, it's just really waiting for this to settle out and see how well that's going to do. But it'd be interesting to see this with the magic pencil, wouldn't it? Just to see. Go on, you'll love a bit of magic pencil, don't you? So let me grab trusty little sketchbook is. Let me move all of this over. I actually will set it on top of the heater while we're doing this. I'll let it get really nice and dry. Now, ask me about this one. This one's going out to members very soon. Just have to put it all together. There's a little sketch from the last time. So what we're going to do with this is just simply, the thing that I love about the magic pencil is it does just force you to jump in, and because it's magic, then it's going to give you just lots of different colours and places that you normally would want. Now I know for some people that's just too much, but it's just this lovely tool to just get you going and get you into it. So just doing the same thing. Hello Mark! Are you a recent convert to Woodward's Wonders? My intention with the membership is to obviously have some members like shorts and you know, once the membership, if the membership grows, to be able to do members lives and things like that, but obviously to keep content coming anyway. But there will be some members videos and things that hopefully you'll find benefit with. Thank you to those who are members, it's much appreciated. It supports me in what I'm doing here. And then just getting a nice vertical of that, the line of the, you can't see it there, sorry, the little line of the light on the roadside there. If you haven't got a magic pencil, they are just fantastic. Just a really, really good addition to any artist toolkit, and just the way that they work is just wonderful. I'm sure lots of you have tried them. What I can do then is because that road scene obviously is dark as well, but just to sort of communicate that you can actually make out a little bit of the road. And then, I mean, what I haven't done in the watercolor well as yet is the marks in the sky. So sometimes what I do is whenever I want to find a particular color with a magic pencil, I mean really there's no point, but if I want to, then I just find it and then sort of keep it on that side and lean into it. But I mean, I find that, you know, making a little sketch like this, let me just zoom in for you. Making a little sketch like this is just, yeah, you can see it is actually getting shorter. I'm going to have to order another one. Next time I'm in Bath, I must go to the shop. I didn't get the last time. It's got a lot of use, see, what can I say? But it's a really good way to just sort of sketch and see, okay, you know, what is it I'm noticing about this scene? Like, I love the position of these three. If you can see here, the position of the three street lights. There's quite a lot of strong verticals in it, and then the kind of triangular shape that, and the detail as well. You know, I find that with the magic pencil, I got it in Bath, in the little art shop in Bath. When was that last? Was that last June? Maybe it was last June. Anyway, it's made by Koh-i-Noor, Hartmouth. You can definitely also get them online as well through Amazon, and they're just great fun. So anyway, the magic pencil is just a really lovely way to get a bit of a sketch in. Now, hopefully, that is beginning to dry a little bit. It is somewhat. Didn't really know that I want to add an awful lot more to it, but just really, really lovely way to sketch things out. Now, I actually did, I think this one has a magic pencil, and I did a video of this. I was really pleased. Sometimes you have sketchbooks that you really like, and this is one of the sketchbooks. This is me basically chatting away to you. I'll give you a sketchbook. June, Sue, was it June? Sue was there. So I should ask you, actually, seeing that you're the ones watching, do you want a little sketchbook tour? If you're happy to have a sketchbook tour, please leave your message in now. Cheryl says the magic pencil I have is mostly yellow. Yes, I have a couple of others as well. I have this brush that I spent about 12 or 13 pounds on. I never used the blooming thing and I wish I'd never bought it. Anyway, okay, so we've 3 of you said yes to the sketchbook tour. This is not the most recent sketchbook, but it's a sketchbook that I love. It's from about probably about a year ago. So you'll see lots of different media. This is Cherry Blossom, Castle Rock pencil, normal colouring pencil. Derwent Graphitint, I think tinted charcoal. The Irish Sea. I love really simple lines now. Whenever you look, oh Joanna, you'd like the sketchbook tour as well. So if you look at this one, so this is drying, okay, but I have a thing for really, really simple lines, so you'll see that throughout the sketchbook. This was the River Ban. I didn't love this one. Just thought, I just didn't love it. Sligo Now. Loved this one. I think I did a video about this, about just using colour and pencil just for the simplicity. You can see a common theme here. Colin is forever looking at roads, bends in the roads. There's definitely something about that. I just love that. Castlewell. Now this was on a day, I think it was actually, oh no it wasn't. It was just in the Faber-Castell, I think I have them in here. Yes. Oh, just about to lose my nail colours. These are the Faber-Castell graphite acrylic, the water. They're activated by water, which is they're wonderful to use. Allen Park, that was actually a golf course, but again, just playing about with those. You can see certain themes as I try these things. There's another pathway, but the water with these is pretty impressive. Actually, it would be nice to try this scene while this is drying and that as well. I had the opportunity to go to the Ulster Museum when they had the 2 Caravaggios, the Taking of Christ and this the Supper at Emmaus, which was just pretty powerful being in that space and sketching from them. It was a lovely thing to do. So this was on a boat. I was one of the artists on a sketching weekend. So just playing about with some boats and things that I saw while I was trying to go over. I've always quite admired this going over the page thing don't know how well it works for me, but anyway, give it a go. This one makes me chuckle. This little woman, now she didn't really look like that, but she was sitting on the boat and playing the penny whistle, and you know that one of my heroes is Quentin Blake as an artist, and I just think I was so pleased with that. I thought, look, there she is, dear lover. My wife said to me, please tell me you didn't show that to her. We were drawing fruit in the watercolor class that I take, and I do a week on still life. So I had suggested to everybody to try it in lots of different media. So that was continuous line and watercolor pencil. Now do feedback to me here, folks, because I'm chatting away and you're not. So this was drawing with the brush. This was Toby Sketchlooks, one of the first drawings I did of him in when we were there in Bath. So you'll remember some of these. So whenever you're on these weekends, the corner of the shop was really quite pleased with that. Thought that did well again with the Faber-Castells. So we did a challenge of drawing different shapes. There's something lovely about just taking the time to draw without being all precious about the paper. And this was demonstrating perspective and more drawings. And I don't know whether you can all still see here the lady that was sitting in front of me on the table. The sketchbook, there's the magic pencil. The magic pencil was obviously before, but that's the little cafe. I'd sent the drone out in front of that this time whenever we were there. I call this one the posh guy in the coffee shop. Now I did a video with this one, and this video actually did very well, but the magic pencil, what a joy to use. Anyway, and there's my beloved chickens, like the impressionism of your art. Yeah, I suppose it all is. There's another one of Bath again. I really do have a very simple style, and the reason I have a simple style is because I really enjoy it. So this was on a holiday in Cyprus with the magic pencil. That was a lovely thing, even simple line work. Yeah, magic pencils are great. UJB123. Thanks Sue, and thanks Cheryl. So and then getting a little bit more realistic, I was pleased with the shadow in this, just lying on the sun lounger and drawing and putting the time in. Now we're going to come up to one. There's one that I did with Cyprus. These were people swimming. It's fun drawing people swimming, you know. Or somebody, you know, stretching out. You know, as you kind of stretch out forwards. I am going to get this painting. For anybody who's just joined, this is not just a tour of the sketchbook. This is something to do while this dries. This was the cool man swimming. So whenever I was in art college, I had an obsession with chairs, and quite like those little chairs. But then I did, let me see if we can get to this one. This one. You know, sometimes you do certain drawings and things, and you just think that's got something. And for me, just the way the chairs were, the simplicity, even the line of the shadow underneath and the sketchwork underneath with just the simple highlights with the flat edge brush and the title. I'm right back there. It's a lovely moment. There's my son playing golf. The Euros. More of the Euros. These are interesting ones now. These are, I was sitting in Belfast. This is bins, just that was on a corner. I've always had a thing about, you know, areas that we would overlook. And these are the Belfast bikes. Really quite like them. I liked how wobbly and shaky they were, done with the Sailor Food the Manning pen. And you can see how the interplay of the text and the drawing just for me really works. There's I think that was Castle Rock. I did this series on doing this particular scene, but I was pleased with that. This was a different magic pencil that I had bought. And then this was the flat edged, the carpenter's pencil, I think it's called. Cheryl, you said I'll post my effort on Instagram, watching on my phone, so there's no detail. No problem at all. That'll be lovely. So again, it's by Koh-i-Noor, but a nice flat pencil, which again, like I said, I find that different media affect your style, which is pretty cool. Getting a little bit more realistic there. The waterfall. This is the waterfall at Gleno, which is just beautiful. So I was marrying a couple, and I just was down at a waterfall and decided to, so I was considering all that and just tried it in several different media. I that's something I would totally recommend. Trying the same thing in different media has become a staple part of what I would do. We had a sketch club and then we were looking at llamas. I like that you draw everything and anything. Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, why wouldn't you? Sure, you're the same. You'd sit on the train and draw whatever. This was at a sort of llama farm where I had a few hours. The Rathlin Ferry. Didn't get that one finished. But again, you know, the playing with the composition on the page, I really enjoy, you can tell from what I'm even doing tonight, I really enjoy white space surrounding. I think it gives an image room to breathe and somehow instills a little bit more meaning or purpose to line work. And then the it's like a journal entry really, the stampers. This was on Rathlin. I did that separately. There's a video on that one. What kind of sketchbook? Probably the square shapes, one of my favourite. The llamas, Sea White of Brighton. That was continuous line of a horizon, I think. Probably the same thing there. That was Rathlin. Ah, now these. See, this is what I mean. I don't always feel this way about a sketchbook. But this was another still life on another term. And just doing simple drawings of the same thing. Now that I really like that. Or was it the next one? No, not that one. That was it. Now you can call me ridiculous, but if you look at the artwork of a guy called Giorgio Miranda, he spent his entire artistic career focusing on still life, and he did this sort of negative space thing with still life, and I just love this. You know, I think it's really important that whenever you make something, there's got to be something that you really love and you just think, I really enjoy that. And it's not cocky and it's not arrogant. It's meant to be enjoyed, isn't it? A pear. Round a pear. Ah, there's my... That was... I think that was the... You know, the... I don't know whether you've seen it, but I did a big series of the ocean at Helen's Bay. And that was the picture for it. Sometimes put pictures in. That were quite. I think that was done on a tutoring session. More photos, more drawings. Trying with the Japanese pen that Toby sent me. Japanese pen again. Oh, that was with Pete. I think it's coloured the type of ink that it was that time, and just some photos. Then this drawing out the 4 squares to tackle the scenes, quite nice. This was when we went to, we had a sketch shop in a bookshop called Hunter Paper, and that was pretty cool, just drawing the books. I think, you know, and this one was just different rulers, you can see from the Japanese markings on it. And I began to draw the printing press that she has there. And then this is a little, what do you call it when you've got 4 pictures together? I don't know. But just this is a school that I work in, and just little sections. And again, with that gorgeous little printer that I have, I've always loved light. I think it's always been a thing for me as a Christian as well. And then some more pictures and things, and this was a night scene. I was trying to teach how to do a night scene. The boats. These are all from the classes, and the magic pencil shows up again. And me and my brother, when we went to Rathland, he actually had this little printer before I did. And then I was talking about doing I drew this with Pro Marker one time, and Unipin, and it was I was really pleased with it, and I thought I must do an etch sometime. I could do the etch and then add in watercolor after, so I might tackle that one day. Anyway, the other painting is now dry, so you can tell me if you benefited from that little sketchbook tour. I always find it as an artist, being some of it's still wet. As an artist, seeing sketchbooks is really interesting, I find. So hope you enjoyed that little ad hoc tour. So back we go. Thank you, Deco Painter Auntie. Okay, so we're going to go back to the scene. The paint has buckled ever so slightly, which is all right. I'm going to take my little trusty from Sostron Green, and we're going to just get some Payne's Grey rocking here. You know, Nutritint actually would probably be quite nice as well, but I decided to go with the Payne's Grey because I just like how cool it is, in terms of it's not, you know, that it's not a rich earthy black. Glad you enjoyed that, Sue. Enjoyed the tour, Sue? Good. Both Sues? Double Sue? Sue squared? So let's just add in on the second layer then, just a totally little bit more detail here. Not loads, you know, like somebody had said, was it you say about the impression of the sketchbook, just doing some simple lines here. So this is going to be the last layer of this one. Just taking loads and loads of the ink. I think actually what I'll do is make that even darker. It's definitely better value to buy the Daniel Smith paints in a tube and then to fill up said tube rather than, or to fill up the half pans again rather than buying. I think I bought extra half pans of Payne's Grey. It was about £7 or £8, and actually I think the paint tube where I got it was maybe only £7 or £8, so it was far better value, and just to sort of squeeze it in. So top tip for anyone who likes the Daniel Smith as much as I do. So you can just see a richness that comes on with this second layer. You know, it just really adds. Let's connect those two together so they bleed down a bit. It's getting too warm in here, and my little oil filled radiator works so very well. So you can see how on this second layer it just does not, I don't even know what the word is, just gives us that little bit more. As he concentrates. I'm just adding in those little pieces, those little bits of the puzzle there. Okay. Just sorry, you go all. I don't know whether you find this too. Sometimes when you're doing just little bits, it just requires just a little touch of stillness. Now, what I think I will do is add in just a little touch more of that orangey kind of tone. Just want to add that in. That's good. Pleased with that. So it's just going to add in that extra little level. Okay, and then I can mix that a little bit stronger. No, actually, it's just touched on a little bit of the Payne's grey that's already in the palette, which I'll dull it down ever so slightly, and I'm okay with that, you know. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so the paper is actually still warm as well, which is going to work to my advantage too, because it means that it's going to dry that a little bit. Just that a little bit quicker. So just adding in just these little moments of embellishment. Okay, I'd love to get a dot in there, but I don't know. Can I reach it without it getting a little bit muddied in? Okay, so that's where I am going to leave that there. Now, you can give me one more suggestion if there's anything else, but I may just call it a night there. So let me zoom this in for you. So I'm really quite pleased with that. There's the reference. Now let me hold up the reference close to the camera. So, and again, just to emphasize, the reason why I print the reference so small is really supposed twofold, because one, I want to be able to have it on screen while I'm doing things like this, so you can see what I'm doing as well, but also because it's so small, then I'm not going to become slave to the detail. So I'm really pleased with this. I think it really does capture the feel of the place, and the scratchiness of the glass pen gives me that kind of scratchy Quentin Blake free illustrated style. Really pleased with this separation of the pigment in the Payne's grey, so I'm losing my words there, and especially on that second, you know, as the paper buckles and bumps, then it starts to do its own thing. So it's darker at this point and darker here because of the rise and fall. The paper starting to kind of undulate. I really like how serendipitous. I think that's a great word. Thank you guys, appreciate all the thank you for all your encouraging feedback. I really like how watercolor doesn't really do what you think it's going to do, but I love that you can add, you can see the two layers there, and you know, you can really add to it. So hopefully this video encourages you to do something the same. When you look at it, I really placed down a very, very, very simple line structure, and then just worked up from that, and just giving those, you know, when you look at it, it's really, really very simple. So thanks as always for watching. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for the members for coming on as well, and for supporting me in that way. Thanks, Joanna. I have to say, because of how much I love your style, it is slightly nerve-wracking that you're watching, but you know, I'm a big boy. I can man up and get on with these things. Anyway, glad you like it. Very different to your style, but maybe you can see elements how your practice kind of is, I don't know, it feels like you know, it's just working with the way I would like to work. I'm not really talking about, what am I trying to say? I think that there's elements of how you work that just I really enjoy. It somehow connects to the way that I'm doing this here. That's what I'm trying to communicate. Anyway, it's simple, it's effective, give it a go, and just enjoy your watercolors. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye everybody, bye bye.